Mikey Dread, Mother Nose, and Roxy Romeo. The only team keeping you lit in Philly.
Yep, it's Philly's Power 99 Rising Guard Morning Show. Mikey Dread, Mother Nose, and Roxy Romeo. Friend and family to the show has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Meek Mill in the building.
Yeah. Welcome home, Meek.
Alrighty. Now, Meek, first and foremost, I have to ask you, every morning, Mother Nose would say, good morning to you on the radio.
Yeah.
Every morning when you were down,
I appreciate
from the
it,
day
too.
you went down, I was like, damn, I wonder if he hears or if somebody's telling him. He would say good morning. Like, if all else fails, he would say, good morning, Meek Mill, how are you?
Yeah.
And did you know that he was saying?
No, I didn't know that. I don't get up in the morning. I get up, and when I was in that situation, I was getting up like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
So they don't make you get up early?
They do, but I go back to sleep after they make you get up. You gotta stand up for count and stuff like that. But then I go back to sleep.
Wow.
But no, nobody ain't never tell me because the radio in the state prisons in the county is radio big, and the state prisons ain't really big because people been here for years and years and years. So people don't really listen. Only probably like 1 or 2 guys on my block listen to the radio, and they been like, "All right, Power 99 was talking about you."
Right.
Yeah.
But
I
We
appreciate
definitely
it.
had your back.
Yeah, I know. I heard like 1 or 2 different interviews where y'all was rocking out, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
In these type situations, that's what you need, like light shined on your situation. Like most time people in the dark, so they can never really speak up or really say anything about their case, and they just get swept under the rug.
Right. How you feeling?
I feel good. You know, I'm back in action, a little tired, running around working hard, but you know, I'm happy to be here.
Right. So the word was you wasn't, you was laying low on the music, but I seen on Instagram you back in the studio.
Yeah, I wasn't laying low on the music. I'm recording it. I gotta make it. It's gonna take me what I've been home like 25 days or 27 days. I spent half of it, spent
interview
2
after interview, back to back. You Dateline, you here, you there. They got you moving and shaking. So
and I spent 2 weeks with my family too. I was in jail too, so I ain't just coming back and just jumping right into business because people want to hear you rap. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta live a real life and get your head together. Like I don't really think it's a rush. I could have been doing 2 years right now, and no music could have been on the way. I couldn't have been doing no interviews and no nothing. So it's like, take your time. That's how I feel.
Were you writing in jail?
No, I wasn't writing no music.
Nothing.
In jail. No, if I don't feel good, I don't make music. I
watched that's it. You wasn't feeling up to it.
Yeah, like if I watched an interview with Tupac, he was like, I don't write in jail either. I'm not inspired. That's the same way I am. Not because he like that, but just there, I just don't be inspired.
So what did you do? What was your daily process? You said you weren't writing. We were just talking behind the scenes. You said you was popping envelopes a lot.
Shout out to all the fans and supporters that sent me fan mail. I was reading a lot of fan mail. People would always like write me and tell me their stories or how I inspired them, and it used to be inspiring me hearing some of the things people went through, and my music helped them get through that. And hearing their stories inspired me in my situation because some of their stories was worse than mine. You know what I mean?
You were in general population?
Yeah, I was in general population. I was on it is this only general population in a state prison, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was regular.
Is it safe to call you the face of prison reform because you're everywhere, Meek?
Yeah, I don't call myself the face of it, but if I can help shed light and, you know what I mean, and help change these policies and conditions, you know what I mean? I'm all the way in it. I'm there.
So with that being said, what is your ultimate goal being that you were plugged, not, it's not self-appointed, the face of prison reform? What's your ultimate goal? Like, do you want there to be a law passed? What do you want to change out of all this?
Errors in the justice system, it ain't really about one law. It's about a lot of policies that's like pulling people back. You know how like it ain't about saying like nobody deserves to go to jail. It's about making things right. Like, you got people like me. I've been on here probation 11 years.
Right.
Every time I came in here, I'm just coming home. It wasn't really for no crime. The first time I got locked up at 18 years old was a crime. Now I'm coming to Power 99. I'm making my way towards success. Me get locked up again. Me get locked up again and again. None of that wasn't for committing crime. It was just like, all right, he had marijuana in his system. You go to a state prison. It's like I'm being judged from something that happened when I was 18 years old. If one of y'all smoked marijuana, you ain't go to jail for 3 years, 2 years. That was really a 4-year sentence I had. Like, if you get in trouble in there, you got to do the whole 4 years. If you don't get in trouble, you do 2 years. You know what I'm saying? That's a little rough for somebody that changed their life around and been doing good. Like, you caught a case when you was 18. I'm 31.
Right. Hey, Meek, was there any point in time where you could have not been on probation. You could have not had a tail because, I mean, I know this all stemmed from you being 18, but was there a point where you could have taken a plea deal or you could have, had house arrest for a certain amount of time and you would have never had a tail? Or it doesn't matter what you did, you would have always had this tail on you?
Yeah, you sentenced. Once you sentenced to that, that's what it is. That's your sentence. You don't get
so that 10 years, that was your sentence. That was it.
It started off at 8, and if I got a technical violation could be anything. It could be using a drug, even somebody got hookahs. I gotta ask them 10 times. There ain't no weed in that hookah, right? Because if I hit that hookah and there's weed in there, I gotta go tell my PO yo, I hit a hookah. I ain't know it was weed in there, but they ain't trying to hear that, even if it's no mistake. They ain't.
Right.
But you would go to jail for that. As far as a technical violation, I say the Starbucks situation. If I was in Starbucks, that was a technical violation. Police contact is technical violation.
Wow.
So you could go to jail for, if I had 10 years of probation, a technical violation, you could get 5 to 10 years for being in Starbucks or getting Willie in a dirt bike. Really, she was like, I was lenient. I'm like, dang, who told y'all this was lenient? Where do y'all even make the lenient scale up? 2 years for not committing crime in the state penitentiary?
No,
you get killed here.
Now, talking about Willie and the dirt bike, weren't you on the set doing a video shoot?
Yeah, we was doing me and ASAP Ferry was doing a video called Trap. Actually, the video came out, and we Willie in the bike. It wasn't really too much to it.
So how can they pop you for that if you on a set, you have your permits,
it wasn't a permitted video though.
Oh, okay.
It's a little video you just put together.
Okay, got
But
you.
it was hundreds of people out there on bikes. I wasn't the only one willing. It's 100 people. I didn't get locked up on a bike. I came back to that neighborhood the next day. He was riding a bike. We seen it on camera. It's not really a crime. Like if you see, I know y'all watch Philly Instagram all day. There's bikes everywhere.
Yeah.
If it was a crime, people would go to jail every day for it.
Meek, how do you feel about those saying you deserve to be locked up because at the end of the day you violated your probation?
I mean, they probably from the other side of America. You know what I mean? Where I come from, I don't believe nobody should go to jail for willing a bike for years in prison. Do you understand? That's why black people and Spanish people been down so long, because it's so easy to take a 5 out of the household and put them in prison for years over the smallest thing. Like we in Bala Kenwood right now.
Mm-hmm.
One of them kids over here smoked some marijuana on probation. They ain't going to no state penitentiary. They going to a program.
Right.
If that, you know what I'm saying? And just in our world, the way the policies are made, like a young black kid, you're done. You smoke some weed, give him 2 years. He willing to bike, give him 3 years. Who even made society think that these policies was okay?
Right.
And they definitely shouldn't be okay to people that come from where we come from, because we've been seeing this so long. That's why little kids running around, his dad ain't in the house. Well, why his dad ain't in the house? He got 10 years for selling 3 dimes of crack cocaine. Damn, 10 years? Who said this was the scale? This was somebody 10 years. You made a mistake, or you was prone to seeing violence and drugs your whole life. You grew up and seeing people, I tell people all this all the time, even the governor, mayors. If you grew up see somebody selling drugs every day of your life, the first thing you probably gonna do is jump out and sell drugs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you should get 10 years for it when you get caught. If you ain't killed nobody or hurt nobody or damaged nothing, you know what I'm saying? People got a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You think people should have 10 years and shit like that? Like you a kid, that's all you seen, all you know? If you in Philadelphia, what part of Philly y'all from?
I'm from the burbs, Westchester.
Are you from the burbs?
Yeah.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh yeah, but you from the rough part of Brooklyn?
Yeah.
I'm from the nice part.
Oh yeah, well.
But I know that life.
Yeah, I'm from the bad part of Philly where it's violence. People get killed every day.
Yeah.
Some of these kids be needing the gun. If they don't, they gonna die if they don't carry this. You get 16, 17, 18, you hanging around certain people and certain people around you doing stuff. It's people coming to hunt them down. And if you with them and you affiliated with them, you gotta protect your life. Ain't nobody gonna really save you. What they gonna save you after what? Your case, if they give somebody a life sentence for killing you? Nobody ain't trying to be in no casket, you know what I'm saying? So this is all you seen, this is all you know. When I was 18, I'm in that mix. I'm seeing people die every day. I'm seeing people sell drugs every day. This is regular to me. So it's like, you deserve to be in jail from a mistake you made when you 18, 19, you 31 years old. I didn't commit crime again. What you mean? Jail should be off the table.
Right.
You know what jail is? Shackles on your ankles and your feet, working for 8 hours, 8 cents an hour. You can't see your kids, can't call home. If your mom died, you can't go to a funeral. It's like real deal stuff. Like people be quick to be like, somebody deserve to be in jail. You don't even know I deserve to be a slave.
Right.
I just came from taking care of communities and doing stuff for people. I don't publicize everything I do. I employ a group of young men that come from poverty.
Right.
You deserve to turn into a slave. Know what the 13th Amendment is? You legally a slave if you under custody. If you under state or federal custody, you a slave. You deserve that because you popped the willie. Who makes that up? Nobody ain't really weighing a real deal of what's really going on.
Right.
Well, I know you said that you didn't ask to be the face of it, but in multiple interviews that I've seen, you said that you do want to speak for the people that don't have voices, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm not the face because I'm not really built to be like a political face for justice reform. That's not how I'm really living my life. I'm living my life. I'm going to make change and I'm going to help make change, and I'm going to be aggressive with making change. But I'm not turning into a politician. I'm not turning into a speaker. I can speak through my music, and I'm going to still be speaking on the things that I witnessed and where I come from. So I don't want to be like, how you talking about this, but he's going and trying to be the face of this.
Right.
Well, did you meet other young, like, black men in prison while you were there?
Yeah, definitely. I got a few of my friends I'm still in contact with from there, and that's what really, like, gave me the platform to, like, really pursue it. It wasn't really like a nationwide thing at first. It was just like a few people I was down with. It was one guy named Eric Reddick, because two of his judges was like, we know you're innocent, but
Wow.
because of a statute, you're still in prison. You got 26 and a half years.
Oh my God.
And for me to see that is just like, how you got two judges saying we know you're innocent, but you still got 26 years in jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, something ain't right.
Yeah. Meek, speaking of make change, you were supposed to sit down with Trump, have a meeting with Trump, allegedly Jay-Z.
That's not true at all.
It's not true? Okay.
No.
So
And
what
that's-
happened? What made you change your mind?
I just ain't feel good about it. If I gotta put my name on at risk, because I was kind of excited because the bills they're trying to pass is actually like helping 4,000 people be released, not having women change the beds when they're going through labor. You know, like you can be in jail, a woman can be in jail, and she could have 60 days in jail, 30 days in jail. She gonna be chained to a bed like an animal while she have a baby. Like, it was like a lot of policies that the congressman, a few other people was presenting, and they wanted me to be a part of it. And you know, I was excited. I was actually excited to even be invited to something like that. But
Right.
at the day before, I just started thinking about it. Like, it's too much criticism. Me and the president, we represent two different types of things. Like I say, it's two Americas, and I'm really representing the other side of America. And if it's not anything extraordinary that I'm making change for, I don't really want to sit down as of right now. And it's not like really hard feelings towards the White House, the president, anybody, because I know people worse. If y'all think they bad people, I know real bad people that still conversate with and still speak to, and I feel like I could still sit down at a table with, but I just ain't think right now was the time, because if they gonna change that bill, they was gonna change it no matter if I was there or if I wasn't. So
I'm so glad you withdrew, and we talked about this the other day, because I was saying I did not want him to use you as a pawn, and I did not want you to be a photo op. So I'm glad that you withdrew.
But a lot of people say that too. It's still a point where somebody gonna have to sit down in a room and help change policies that people are really suffering from. Like, while we in here doing this interview, it's a lady having a baby somewhere in a jail, shackled down, or it's a guy in prison. They had like one of the bills where, like, if you 70 years old, like in state prisons, they got people 98 years old walking around on canes. They about to fall out. There's no even need for them to be in prison. It's like torture. They say America ain't about torturing people. Like, send them guys to a hospital or something like that. And a lot of the bills was like stuff that really made sense, because a lot of that stuff in there is inhumane.
Right.
And nobody not really speaking on it and bringing it up. So it's like, at one point, what, we gonna wait till you get out of office? How should that go? Nobody, and the person that speaks to the White House or the president, they gotta be trustworthy, and they gotta really stand for something, not just doing it for a platform. I actually got the platform. They invited me.
Right.
I got the people from our culture, and they invited me, and I feel like at one point it will be needed to have a conversation about making a real change.
Right.
I was on the fence about it, and I saw like a clip about Anderson .Paak, who said something about it, saying that he felt like you should have gone because his mother was in prison for 7.5 years, and he knows how important prison reform is.
Yeah.
But hearing you speak now, I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they was gonna change the bill, I don't really think me going was gonna make any difference about if they did it or if they didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to support people and help change the justice system. I ain't back out just for my own personal reasons. You know what I'm saying? I got a platform, and there's no need to damage my platform trying to attend something that really wouldn't matter if I was there or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make real change, and being as though I got all this attention and things going on in my situation, I want to use it in the most strategic way, in the most powerful way, not just like how you said, things could just turn into a photo op. It can turn into a conversation. What we talking about right now, we ain't really talking about what the bills was. I brought that up, but should Meek be here with Trump? Should the conversation turns into that, and it really overshadows what the real goal is, and we didn't want to be that. I actually spoke with the White House after that, and I'm like, a door is always open for us to do something. It's not no, I don't want to talk. I want to help make change, and that's the only way you can make change, through communication.
Mm-hmm. Meek, when did you find out you were being released? Because I'm at home, minding my own business, getting ready for the Sixers game, Phil. You know what I mean? And then social media just blew up. Everything, my phone blew up like, Meek's out, Meek's out.
Yeah.
It was everywhere. Did you know ahead of time? I didn't even know, because we kept up with what was going on, so we knew like when your court dates were, when you were going to court, and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, you were just out. Did something happen? Like, did you go to court? Did we miss something where you were released?
When you go to Superior and Supreme Court, they rule on the day they want to rule. It's not like a court date. Like, you put a motion in front of them, and whenever they rule, they rule. You know what I'm saying? And your lawyer, they make it public information. I guess soon as it became public information, that's when everybody knew. I found out from watching the news. I was in my cell watching the news.
So your lawyer didn't call you? Like, you found out on TV?
Cell. Your lawyer can't call you.
Yeah, true. Yeah, duh.
Yeah. I was in the cell, and they was on the news, Meek Mill up for bail. I couldn't believe it. I had to turn to another station, and they was saying the same thing. It was like a breaking news. So I was super happy. Jumped up, started packing my stuff.
Right.
I was out in the next 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's when you found out that Michael Rubin was coming to pick you up. You was going to the Sixers. Like, how did you find out about all that? It seemed like it just happened so fast.
Yeah, they came. I didn't know who was coming. I ain't talked to nobody that day. I just started packing my stuff up. They took me to the receiving room because somebody like me, I'm like a public figure in jail. Right. I'm getting out. They're like, yo, let's hurry up and rush this guy out for the jail. Get too excited. Too much stuff started going on. So, they took me to the receiving room. Receiving room, like, the next step towards the door, because it's a process. It take a few hours. Went there, went through the process, and got out. And I seen them. I didn't know all that was going on outside.
Wow.
Had no idea.
Were you treated like a celeb in jail? Like, I mean, were like other inmates
I was treated like a celebrity. And when you're treated like a celebrity, you get treated worse in them type situations. It's even like in my situation being on probation. They watch me 1,000 times harder than they watch a regular probationer.
Right.
Everybody I'm with, well, not everybody, but a lot of people I'm with are on probation. They call their probation, they go take their piss test. They never hear from them people again. Mine a little different. You know what I'm saying? With a CO, they want to lock me in, or like, not all COs. It became normal. When I first came, it was like a memo sent out like, if you do anything extra for this guy, you would be fired. But that put COs on their tippy toes to the point where they don't want to do anything for you at all. And like, most inmates, they got relationships with COs because they've been there in 4 or 5 years, 20 years. So COs are allowed to interact with you and have a level-headed relationship with you as a friend. Not really as a friend, but show you respect. Mine was just like, don't say nothing to them. No, I'm like, damn, why they don't want to talk to me? You know what I'm saying? It's because it's like that. Most people say celebrities get the good hand of the stick. They ain't really like that. When we go out shopping, we got to take 1,000 pictures, no matter if it's 8 a.m. in the morning. You go shopping, you just going shopping. You know what I'm saying? You go get your job done, but that's what come along with being famous.
Right. How did you being down for that long take a toll on the relationship between you and your son?
I definitely think it took a toll on my son. I was gone for 6 months. He couldn't really contact me when he wanted. He used to be crying a lot. But when I came home, I just made sure I show my son more attention and more love. Even the judge, she made like a statement that said something like he doesn't take care of his son. I think y'all was speaking about that on the radio.
Yeah.
How? Would you know if I take care of my son?
No.
Would you
That's
know
your
if
business.
you take care of
Yeah.
my son?
Yeah.
Would you know?
No.
How would they know if I take care of my son?
Right.
Because I don't put my son on Instagram 7 days a week. I put my son on Instagram actually a lot, but I don't want to put my son on Instagram every time I'm around him. I don't want to make it, I don't think it's like something you have to show when you're doing something with your kids. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And how would they know that? Where do that come from? My son lives in New Jersey.
Are you, like, have you been this calm throughout this entire situation? Or have you had moments where you broke and you were just angry and, like, lost it?
I was angry the whole time, but after you make it through a situation, there's no need to be bitter. I don't be bitter about anything. I'm doing good at life. I feel like I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Where I come from, you seen me how I used to come in here, nabby braids, not really no money in my pocket. I used to sneak in this junk.
Sure
I
did.
always tell a
Bang on the door,
tell
yeah.
a story of Uncle O put me
Yep.
out one day. And I'm in this position right now, so I don't think you can make it to like a higher level if you living life in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you've been through, because I just got done with this kid. His name Tay. He younger than me. He just got his vindicated from a life sentence. He had life. He back on the street. He ain't walking around angry. They gave me life. They took 11 years of my life. Mine was just 6 months. He just blessed. You know what I'm saying? He feel good. And not to say you blessed because somebody gave you 11 years for something you ain't do and then you got out, but so much rain, once you see some sunshine, you still feel joy at the same time. And there's no need to mess up your joy because you want to feel bitter about it was raining last week. That's like, you wake up, it rained all week last week, but it's sunny today. Why are we even talking about last week? And it's sunny for the rest of the week. That don't really make sense. So I was definitely angry, but I let it go.
Meek, what would you say to a young man in the streets and someone growing up to hardships similar to yours?
I say dedicate your life to it. That's what I say. Like a lot of people always say, like, you made it, you had a way. I'm like, no, I ain't had no way. Just like you, at one point I decided to dedicate my life to trying to be successful. And when you dedicate your life to it, it ain't just like, I'm gonna go take a stab at it this week. No, I quit. No, I'm back in the street. I'm selling drugs again. No, matter of fact, I'm doing this. I quit. I'm hanging with my girl for 3 months. No, you gotta dedicate your life to something. I ain't saying you can't do anything else, but dedicate your life to it. And it take time to get results. A lot of people, we come from where like everybody sell drugs. And you might see a guy, he been hustling for 2 weeks and he got a big wad of cash in his hand. First of all, the big wad of cash not really his because he got to get that back to somebody wherever he got the drugs from. They believe that when you make money back in a week. How many years I've been coming up here rapping before I start making, before you see me with a chain on, before you see me to be able to have on a nice jacket, just some nice clothes, the smallest things. It was years. I was coming up here, I think I was first like 17, probably 16, and then probably I ain't start coming up here glowed up until probably like 21 or something, 20 maybe, you know what I'm saying? So stay focused and dedicate your life to something if you really love it and you really believe in yourself.
You've been through a lot in Philadelphia. Have you ever thought about moving out of Philly?
I've been trying to move out of Philly for a long time. Actually, I was living right across the street for a long time. And I ain't saying like the most successful people from Philadelphia has moved away from Philadelphia. I've always believed my connection with Philly is different. I'm like super connected to the city as far as like just the younger people, knowing people. I know everybody. A lot of people look up to me. They show me like a lot of love as an artist in Philadelphia. So mine would be a little different how certain people, celebs from Philly, deal with Philly. I would always be able, I'll come back now. I live on the road really, basically 7 days a week. I came here for this interview. I'm out as soon as I get done doing this. Most successful artists, they somewhere else. There's no need to be caught up. Our city is small. It's a web. For a public figure, it's either you downtown or you in a suburban area. Anything else in between that is like, is violent areas, drug, a lot of drugs in a lot of these areas. So a lot of people I know are involved in the streets and stuff like that. So it's not really good for me to be around it. I was looking at this page, No Gun Zone, Justify Let. I was looking at it this morning. It's so many people got killed in like the last 2 weeks. It's crazy, but just to look, that's normal to look at out here. And it ain't really, I just got out of prison. I've been traveling before I was in prison for a long time. I never really like paid deep attention to it in like a year or two. And just seeing that like that many people got murdered, girls, boys, it's like a horror story out there for real, but it's normal.
Right.
And I don't think anybody should be around that. If you get in position, you from the hood, like people say he left the hood, you in a position and you get out, you make money to move from a messed up environment, get away from that. Like my nephews and them used to cuss at like 5 years old, they living in the projects. They live in the suburbs now, and like their whole environment changed, their school system changed. They transformed into totally different people because the environment changed. And I've been trying to move, but probation been holding me back the whole time. They like, you can't move. I'm like, why can't I be housed by a different state? Because a different state won't let me off.
So where were you confined to? Just Philly? So you couldn't go to Jersey? You couldn't go to Delaware?
No, they gave me the last time I was on house arrest, I'm like, I'm not trying to be on house arrest in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You're a public figure. I'm like a stunting type rapper. I'm a flashy type rapper. I'm like prone, like it's like a robbery is kind of like on a list for somebody like me who flashes, and this is where stuff take place at like that. I don't know if you watch the news, a home invasion every night.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't really trying to live in Philly. It's putting my life in danger for me to just live here and be a public figure and everybody know me from the streets to, it could be a group of cops that just hating on me. I'm not saying the whole police force, it's a small group, 3-4 of them. If I'm around, I might gotta run into them, and it just puts me in the way of danger. And I should be free. My son lives in New Jersey. My mom lives in New Jersey, my sister. If I want to take my son into school every day, I should be able to take my son to school every day. You know what I'm saying?
And you couldn't when you were on house arrest?
No, I can't.
Because you were confined to the city.
I can't go take my son to school right now unless I call my probation officer. And then if it's after, my son don't get out of school till like 5:30 and after school programs. If it's after 4 or 5 o'clock, your probation officer leave work, that's off the table for the day. So you got to call somebody every day.
Wow.
If you want to just cross a bridge. And I hope they in the office too. If you don't talk to them, then
right.
Your kid could call you, come and get me from school. You could be right across the bridge.
Right.
That's terrible.
Now this docu-series that you're doing for Amazon, is this about your life and what you're talking to us about now? Or is it just strictly about the reform? Is it about a young Meek Mill to Meek Mill now? What exactly is the docu-series about?
The docu-series is about my life, but it's also about reform and the things people go through and the errors of the system, just breaking things down, kind of like Khalid Browder's situation. His documentary was about Khalid Browder, but it was really a broader situation where you seen how they treat young black males, even if you're not guilty of a crime, being locked up 23 hours a day. Just him going through what he went through. Jay-Z took his platform and shed light on it, and shed light on all the young black men that was in Rikers Islands or the United States going through these type of situations. So basically mine is just a light shine on my situation and reform and the things that people go through in the justice system.
Can I just say, the city of Philadelphia showed out for you. I've never seen a city show out for a dude like this. There were tour buses. There was the hashtag Free Meek.
Yeah.
Rick Ross came out. You had support from some A-list celebrities, Meek.
Yeah.
You gotta feel good by that. Jay-Z, Jada Pinkett Smith, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Beyonce, yeah.
Yeah, I feel super good. Beyonce was crazy when I heard that in jail. I was like, damn, Beyonce just said something like that out of her mouth. But just having that type of support, it made me value myself more too. It made me like, this is one of the reasons why I'm reaching back, because a lot of people were saying free Meek even though they got cousins and stuff in prison. So it's like, all right, now it's my time to double back and reach back to try to help them and help make change in the justice system, because the stuff I'm trying to change, I don't know if people seen it. The governor, we did a press conference where the governor was talking about changing like laws where you shouldn't even be able to get on probation for 10, 11 years. They got policies now where you get locked up with a bag of marijuana from the district attorney's office. If you get locked up with a bag of marijuana, you don't get any bail, because I actually been locked up and my cellie bail was $700 and he been locked down for 28 months. You know
God damn.
So 700 determined his freedom for 28 months. 28 months is a long time to be in prison, man.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? People representing for me in that way, and it made me value myself more, and it made me look at life different, made me want to reach back and really help them people that helped me in my time of need, because I never really had support like that. And I say support like that, I ain't talking about dropping a hot song and people liking your music. No, you going through something personally and people standing up for you. So, you know, I decided to use part of my platform to stand up for the people too, especially some of the people that stood up for me.
Well, you talked about music. So musically, you did say earlier that you are back recording.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what you're working on right now? How far you gotten?
Oh no, I'm just working on the album. I only been in the studio probably like 4 or 5 days, so it's just like rap. Let's just go. Let's create. And I mean, I be making like most of my stuff myself, just me. So I gotta spend a lot of time to create.
And you know this clip that surfaced, like the
Biggie
Biggie thing, where you talked about Drizzy. So of course now there's
I
like,
don't even want to talk about Drake right now. All my interviews always spin to talk about Drake. I think it's gonna become a situation where a few days from now or anytime we see each other, we're gonna put things to rest and keep it moving and move forward. Like, I think it's been dragging out so long.
everybody thinks you guys might be collaborating because of that.
No, I don't. That ain't because of that. That was just actually, that clip wasn't even supposed to be released. I didn't release that. It was somebody recording me in my jury, and that might not even be used. That's not even official. When I rap, I'm just actually saying whatever's coming to my mind, whatever I feel, and then later on down the line, I might redo it over. I might not like it. I might do like it. You know what I mean? It's you rapping. So when I first get in the studio, I'm just letting my creative flows just work and do the best thing they could do.
Now, you missed this story because you were sleeping when I reported it. But back in February, K. Michelle said, I'm done beefing with Meek. She decided to end this long-standing feud. And she said she was going to put money on your books. I want to know, did she put money on your books?
No shame for nobody. Come
on, K.
I didn't need no money on my books. Just think about it. I'm Meek Mill. I don't need no money on my book. A lot of people, like, even I appreciate all my fans just putting money on my books, but I used to always say, like, I hope nobody not giving me money out of their paycheck and they really got bills to pay and sending me $100, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't need it. What you saying, huh? Oh, yeah. I didn't need it, but yeah, I never really had no beef with K. Michelle. I think K. Michelle, I don't know, she had a problem with me at the time, man. I don't have any beef with it. I'm with it. I'm 100%
You
being
just
cool
happy
with
right
it.
now.
Yeah, I ain't got no. See, what we just was talking about. We talking about people dying in our neighborhood left and right.
Yeah.
That's beef and that's crazy stuff really going on. What we got going on is, you know what I mean, all of us probably had an emotional feeling about somebody and we ain't feel good about it and we turned it into something. It's been years since I seen K. Michelle, Drake, any of them. I got no problem with any of these people.
Hey, Meek, I've known you for a long time, and every time I see you, every time we do an interview, you're the same person.
Yeah.
One thing I did find out that I did not know about you is that you had an opioid addiction.
Yeah.
I had no clue because you seem like you're the same all the time.
But opioid addiction, in this world, they call it opioid addiction. In the regular world, you pop perks. That's
pop perks,
Yeah. You see Boone come up here and say, yeah, play pop a perk
Pop
up
a
here.
perk, right.
Right. So everybody talking about popping perks. That's normal in the black community, especially in Philadelphia.
So how did it happen? Because that wasn't always your lane. You might, I guess, blow a little tree or whatever.
I wasn't even smoking tree for a long time. I've been on probation since I was 19.
Right.
You probably never seen me come in here smelling like weed ever.
Never. I haven't.
Because I couldn't really, you know what I'm saying? And pills is like, I was going to the dentist and I had got 2 of my wisdom teeth poured out and I started taking them. And once I started taking them, I tried to stop for like a week. I was taking them for 2 weeks and then I tried to stop and my body couldn't really lean off them. And when I took them again, it just made me feel back normal again. So, I started taking them. They made me feel good. And I didn't think it was like a hardcore drug because it's something like if you sprain your wrist, you fracture your wrist, they give you a Percocet. So I didn't think it was like something that could really affect you in a real way. Really, you 10 times better off smoking weed than popping a Percocet. It's like dope in a pill. So, I got addicted to it. It ain't really like it's like a body. Your body has to lean off of it. It takes toll on your body when you try to stop doing it. I paid for a rehabilitation, a treatment center to come to my house. It cost a lot of money, but it was worth it just to get me off of it. And I wasn't never straight through. Like I wasn't like a you know how like you see a crackhead, they fiending, they scheming all day. It was just like regular, you know what I mean? You just feel a little high. I used to always stop. Sometimes I would stop for 8 months. Sometimes I would stop for a week. Sometimes I would stop for 6 months, saying going to cold turkey, because it was something that I never really wanted to do. It just that it happened to me and I was addicted to it. And you know, everybody, I never really, when you were never addicted to nothing, you be like, man, I can't get addicted to nothing. That's what everybody think until you're in that situation and you're addicted.
Moving forward, career-wise, what goals are you setting this go around?
My new goals is like, at first I just wanted to be like involved in success and make a lot of money, but my new goals is doing it for my last name, like making so much money to where like my family name, the legacy would continue on of us being successful from down to my son, to his kids, my sister kids, and you know, just change the demographics of my family. You know what I'm saying? We came up in the ghetto, being in the streets our whole life. Now, you know, we leaning towards something else. My sister got a business. I got businesses. We working on my mom. My mom probably gonna turn into my accountant soon. She good at saving money. So, you know, just trying to like change stuff in my family and really do it for the family on a whole nother level. At first I was like, yo, I just want to get on. I want a Bentley. I want to move out the hood. I want to travel. All right, we've been doing that for a long time. So, you know, the new thing is to just secure the family name and do something greater.
Now you have a court date coming up in June, right?
Yeah.
So what is that court date for? What could possibly happen? Is it possible they could take you again? Is it like what can happen now that Superior Court, or was it Supreme Court that when you were released? It was Supreme Court. Supreme Court decided to release you. What can happen when you go back to court next month?
It could go either way. Court is court. You know what I mean? There's nothing that's automatically supposed to happen, but you know, it could get threw out. The judge could deny it, and then it go to a higher court.
Okay.
They could throw it out, or they could deny it and go to a higher court. You know what I'm saying?
So it could be a process that keeps rolling and rolling and rolling.
Yeah.
Wow.
But actually, too, like nobody. What was the guy named Brad Bridges that was up here? The guy from probation.
Yeah.
The head Defenders Association, public defenders. 3 people that had the same cop as me, their cases already was thrown out just because the integrity of the cops' testimonies was at risk. He's known to have been a liar and been corrupt. 3 people had got in court in front of a president judge already, and they was thrown out. So
you feel positive?
Why should mine be treated any different?
Agree.
One cop testified on me, one cop testified on them.
Agree.
If they got theirs thrown out, what reason should mine be held over?
But the thing is, you say that, but you have been treated different.
Yeah, of course, but I don't think in front of a president judge it would be any different. In front of a Supreme Court or a Superior Court judge, it would be any different. I've still got to make it to that point. No matter what happens on June the 19th, or I think it's the 19th, I would still have to make it to that point. And another point is, like, it's 109 cases where people was arrested by this officer. 108 of them is in front of a president judge.
Okay.
What do you think mine's at?
You that one out of the 109?
Yeah,
you know
in front
what, I
of the
did
same
read that.
judge.
In front of the same judge?
Yeah, and all them
Why is that though?
I don't know why. What it looks like.
But your
That
lawyers,
is what it looked like.
your lawyers put in paperwork or something to get that switched, right?
Yeah, we fighting that right now, but you know, that's a process too within itself. You really have to prove, but I'm like, out of 109 cases, all 108 of them they were took from the original judges and put in front of one judge, because it's a lot of cases, so they could be handled accordingly.
And the same, right?
Yeah. I'm the only one that ain't in front of them. And somebody that caught the case with me, somebody that was on this case with me that got locked up with me, actually is an innocent lady. I don't know if she just was walking by while I was getting arrested. She got caught up in the middle of a drug raid, lost her kids, did 2 years in jail. Yeah, it was sad. I never even spoke to this lady in my life, but she one of the people, she's still on probation. She had the same judge as me. She in front of the president judge too. I'm just the last one stuck in front of the same judge. So, you know, something ain't right.
Well, there was a lot of crazy stories while you were locked down, but the craziest story that I heard is the clerk asking you for damn money, slipping you a note so you can pay for her son's tuition.
We kind of got on top of that. I don't really know if she was like connected to that lady, and I don't want to like dirty her name up.
Okay.
I heard she lost her job.
Yeah.
If I even got in contact with her, she got in contact with you, I would get her another job in the speed of light. You know what
This
I'm
is
saying?
good news for Wanda.
Because I heard from other lawyers, they was like, no, she had a GoFund account for her child and stuff like that. So I don't really like that. But, you know, there's casualties. When you're fighting for your freedom and you got trying to get to the bottom of things, it's my life or theirs, you know what I'm saying? And I feel sorry for that lady that happened to her, because she probably really was just trying to get a donation for her son that's trying to go to college, you know what I'm saying? And she got caught up in the midst of what the other person is doing, and, you know, of course they fired her, but it's like, y'all quick to fire her. Why they not quick to fire anybody else that's allegedly doing all this different something going on? But, you know, if it was up to me, I would help that lady get another 9 to 5 that probably pay the same amount of money that she was working.
Wanda, I hope you listening.
Yeah.
You could be a part of Dream Chasers.
It might not be a Dream Chaser job.
He said, hold up.
It'll be
Hold
something.
up.
It might be Wells Fargo or something like that. We work it out.
Okay.
Hey, Meek, we appreciate your time. Thanks for coming through. We hoping we see you at Powerhouse this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna be around. You know what I mean? I'm from Philly. You know what I mean? I'm always around. I don't think I missed one in a long time.
Absolutely.
Well, God bless you,
This
Meek.
time, if stuff like that until I'm trying to make it real special. Like the way I'm moving now, everything gotta be special. Everything gotta be spectacular. And we doing things on a real big level.
Absolutely. Thanks, Meek. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yo, chill with the station that holds you down with the hottest hip hop
and R&B
joints. It's Philly's Power 99 FM.